Setting up JTLanguage for LDS-Missionaries. Introduction. Welcome to the JTLanguage LDS-Missionary setup video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get set up using JTLanguage in both website and phone app versions. The phone app version will be very similar, differing mainly in that you need to install the app and download the study material. Browser navigation. To get started with the web version, go to your favorite browser and navigate to the JTLanguage website using this URL. Installing the phone apps. For the phone app version, get started by downloading and installing the app. For an Android phone, go to the Play Store, search for JTLanguage and install it. For an iPhone, go to the App Store, search for JTLanguage and install it. Running the phone apps. Before running the phone app for the first time, you should do so while connected to the internet, as it will need to download some stuff from the website. Touch the JTLanguage app icon to run it. It's the icon just like the one shown on the Play Store or App Store. Note that when starting it up, it will need to spend a little time moving resources around and also downloading some needed infrastructure data from the website. In subsequent restarts of the app, it will also run through the checks, but it will be much faster. If you are not connected to the internet, just click the cancel button. Otherwise, it will just time out after a minute or two. Or if Wi-Fi and data is actually off, it will just skip the website sync check. If you already started the phone app without a network connection, and then make a network connection, you can do the sync via the Home Maintenance page by clicking its Sync Database button. Main menus. Upon starting up the JTLanguage app or going to its website, if it's your first time in the website or phone app, the main menu page will appear. JTLanguage remembers the last key page you are at, so if it is not your first time, it might come up at a different page. You can always go back to the main menu page by clicking on the JTLanguage title at the top. JTLanguage has a dual menu system, which adapts to your screen size. If your app or browser window is big enough, you will see some main menu headings next to the JTLanguage title. Clicking on any of these will show a pop-up submenu. If your display is not big enough, the little 3-bar Reduce menu button in the top right can be used to open the main menu as a pop-up menu. Clicking on items there show an embedded submenu. The big and colorful buttons below the title bar constitute the other form of the menu and are equivalent to the title menu items. Clicking on them will take you to big button submenus. Use whichever menu mechanism you are more comfortable with. Navigating menus. In this and other videos, I will give the menu navigation info by saying the main menu item name followed by the submenu item name. For example, in saying Home Settings, I would first navigate to the main menu and from there select the Home item. From the Home submenu that appears, I would then select the Settings item. This will take me to the Settings page. Register an account. The first thing to do is to create an account for yourself on JTLanguage. An account is necessary in JTLanguage in order for it to save your settings and study item status. Note that for the most part, it doesn't matter whether you register using the website or mobile app, as the phone app will register on the website for you if a network connection is present. Because you see the register and login links at the upper right, this means that you are not currently logged into an account. Go to the register page by clicking on the register link, or for the reduced or mobile menu, click on the 3-bar button and select register at the bottom. You may have to scroll the menu to see it. On the register page, just fill in your information, including a username, real name, email, and password twice. leave user role as student. The package field is for a current mechanism I have for protecting certain content. The LDS content is currently protected this way, so you need to input its package code, which you can obtain from whoever manages your IT, or you can email me for it using the contact page. Also, set a time zone so I can correctly display times, and also be sure to set a check for the I am 13 years old or older and I accept the terms and conditions checkboxes. Of course, feel free to read the terms and conditions and privacy policy first via the provided links. Then just click the register button. You should be taken back to the main menu page or whatever page you were previously on. The title bar now shows your account name and current profile, which defaults to default. Profiles are a mechanism in JTLanguage that lets you set up different languages and settings in your account and more easily switch between them. We'll look at this shortly. The upper right now also shows a log off link for the case where another user needs to log on. Let's log off and demonstrate the login mechanism. Logging in. Click the login link, or for the reduce menu, click the 3-bar button to pop up the menu and select Log In. Enter your username and password from the register page. For the website version, you'll see a Remember Me checkbox. Optionally check it if you are not on a public computer. You won't see this checkbox on the mobile app version. Click Login to do the actual login. It then goes back to the previous page that you are on and should now show your account name next to the hello message in the title bar. Setting up languages. Another important step is that you need to tell JTLanguage which languages to use. Otherwise, it will only show study content in English or whatever language your computer or phone uses. Navigate to the Home Languages page to set this up. Because this is so crucial, I have it always show the help information that describes the language fields. The UI language is a language used for user interface components, such as menus and buttons and help page text. It should default to the current display language of your computer or phone. The host language is the language used to explain things and translate the study material. Typically, it's the same as the UI language, but if the study material doesn't have your native language, you can use some other language that you know is provided. The target language is a language you want to study and controls what language versions of the study content will be displayed. To add a language, click on the Add Language Here field, scroll to the desired language and select it. Or to change a language, likewise click on the language you want to change, scroll to another language and select it. You can have multiple host and target languages. For example, for the target languages, you might include a Romanized version or alternate character set of the language you are studying, such as having either or both traditional or simplified Chinese characters and the Romanized pinyin, or for Japanese, the alternate phonetic kana characters or the Romanized romaji. Or you might want two totally different languages together to compare and contrast. To remove a language, click on the drop-down menu and select its Remove option at the bottom. Note that if you previously set up some languages without being logged in, for example as a guest, the languages will default to those you previously set. Note that if you need additional languages in the LDS content, please let me know. User profiles. A user profile is a mechanism in JTLanguage that lets you store different language selections and other settings as a group and give it a name. By default, a profile named Default is set up for you when you register. The title bar shows the current profile name to the left of the Log Off link. If you want to study multiple languages separately, You can create additional user profiles and select among them. To do either of these operations, navigate to the Home Profile page via the menus or click the profile name link at the upper right. This takes you to the Profiles page, which shows a drop-down menu for selecting among your user profiles. To add a profile, click the Add Profile link. This takes you to the Add Profile page. First, set a name for the profile. I usually use the language name, but you can use whatever is meaningful to you for identifying the profile to yourself. Then set up the languages just like you did in the Languages page. Click the Save button to create and save the new profile. If you click on the Select Profile drop-down menu, you will see your new profile and any other existing profiles you may have created, including the default profile created for you. To switch to a different profile, just come back to this page by clicking on the profile name in the title bar or by navigating to the Home Profile page via the menus, and use the Select Profile drop-down menu to select another profile. Displaying courses. A course in JTLanguage is a term I use to call the highest level study content collection. For example, the Preach My Gospel lessons map to a single JTLanguage course, which is further divided into groups and lessons. The Courses page, which you can get to via the Lessons Courses menu item, lists the available courses for the specified languages and teachers. These can be filtered or expanded using the drop-down menus at the top. Be careful with the Languages drop-down filter menu, as this setting will affect what is displayed elsewhere as well. I recommend leaving it at Target Languages to just show the courses supporting your target language. Also leave the Level drop-down filter at Any. For the Teacher drop-down filter menu, set this to LDS Library to just show the LDS content. Note that in the phone app version, it won't display LDS Library in the Teachers drop-down menu until you visited the Manage Courses page, which we'll do shortly. When set up like this, in the website version, you will see the Preach My Gospel course if it is available for your target language. However, in the mobile app version, initially you won't see any courses as you need to download them first. We'll look at that in the next section. If you are using the JTLanguage website version, you are all set up and can start using it. If you are on the phone app, let's continue on. Downloading the Preach My Gospel course. We'll now focus on additional setup needed by the phone apps. On the phone apps, you will need to install the Preach My Gospel course for your target language before you can see or use it. To do this, first go to the Home Manage Courses page via the menu system, or click the Manage Courses link on the Courses page. Before displaying the page, it will have to access the server to get the filtered course information and teacher lists. The Manage Courses page will list both the courses available on the website, plus any courses you have already installed, but only for the specified languages and teachers. From here you can do actions like downloading courses, update existing courses, or delete courses from your phone's local storage. Like the Courses page, the Manage Courses page shows drop-down menus for languages and teacher as a way to filter which courses are displayed. The courses will be displayed in a list using a color coding scheme showing which courses are already downloaded and up to date in green, downloaded but not up to date in orange, downloaded but no longer on the web server in red, or not downloaded in black. Help text displays this color coding information at the bottom. The Actions column to the right displays buttons for available actions. For courses not downloaded, a download button is displayed. For already downloaded courses, go to, update, and delete buttons are displayed. You can also just click on the title to go to the installed course. To download a course, touch the download button. This will take you to a course installed page. It may take a bit of time in coming up as it first gets from the server the size of the associated media for the course. The course install page has an Include Media checkbox option. This refers to the audio files generated for the entire Preach My Gospel sections, for individual sections, and for the vocabulary word study lists. If not checked, no media files will be downloaded as part of the course download. Just the text in the course will be downloaded. This is a viable option if you don't really care about having audio for these, or if you want to download them in smaller batches, or you want to download them as you go. We'll talk about these different options. If Include Media is checked, a Media Languages field set will appear with checkbox options for selecting which language set of media files to download in the case where the lesson might support multiple languages. You probably only want to download the media for the languages you are planning to study, as the media can be huge. Note that if the media for the course is big, the estimated size of the media is displayed in a note below the checkboxes. You might want to uncheck the Include Media checkbox and use the download media links on the course, group, or lesson pages only as you need it. The download media pages have additional options for selecting which media to download, such as which child nodes, which type of content, and which languages, giving you more control. Alternatively, if you don't include the media when installing a course, you can have JTLanguage download the items needed on the fly. The Copy Remote Media on Demand checkbox option on the Home Settings page, which is not checked by default, will enable this. But this is a viable option if you only play the audio when connected to Wi-Fi or you have a cheap data connection. But you can still keep it on and then download media later in batches. The Include Media Files in Package checkbox option has to do with whether the media files are downloaded individually or included in the archive file package used based on the .zip format in the course install. It only applies if the Include Media checkbox is also checked. It can be faster in some cases than unchecked, which downloads the individual media items, but if the media is too big, the app might run out of program memory. It seems this is the case for the Preach My Gospel course, so please don't use it. I recently made a change to cap it at 50 megabytes. If it exceeds this, it will automatically fall back to downloading individual files. As to what size the media is that would lead you to not use the Include Media option, it's up to you. There are some practical limits, such as how much free storage space you have. If using the Include Media Files in Package option, there is also the possibility that the zip archive might be too big to handle in memory, or the server might run out of memory, or otherwise have an error when creating the zip file. Don't worry if this happens, just try different options, such as not including the media in the package, not including the English audio, or downloading the media in chunks using the download media pages. You can use the Delete Media button links on the lesson, group, or courses page to delete the media for those nodes that you don't need anymore. The Download Vocabulary, Dictionary Entries, and Audio checkbox has to do with the dictionary and the text study tool. It allows you to pre-download all the dictionary entries and corresponding audio files for the vocabulary, if these things are not already installed on the mobile device, allowing you to use the text study tool offline for most things. Otherwise, it will try to download dictionary entries and media as it needs them, which can slow down the text study tool. But this is a viable option only if you study when connected to Wi-Fi or you have a cheap data connection. The Download Vocabulary Dictionary Entries and Audio checkbox option is displayed on the Install, Update, and Download Media pages. There are also options for downloading entire dictionaries and the associated audio files on the Resources Dictionary page. However, the size of the audio will likely exceed the free space on your mobile device, so the Copy Remote Media on Demand option might be a good choice if you want audio with a dictionary. Note that downloading courses and the associated media can be very slow, depending on your network speed, as well as the JTLanguage server's upload speed. A progress bar and the text messages at the top will show you the progress. In a recent test away from home, in downloading the Preach My Gospel course with Include Media checked, Include Media in Package unchecked, and Include Vocabulary Dictionary entries in audio checked, it took 40 minutes to complete for about 600 megabytes of data. Checking Include Media in Package made the package too big for the server. In unchecking all the options, i.e. no media or vocabulary download, the installation took 103 seconds. Downloading media separately. To download the audio media on the phone app separately from the course installation, you can click the Download Course, Group, or Lesson Media links on any of the course, group, or lesson pages. Note the Download Course Media button link at the bottom of the course page. We'll click it to go to the Download Course Media page. Again, it gets the course media size. In the Download Media pages for a course or group, you have additional options for selecting individual group or lesson nodes. For these plus the lesson pages, you can also specify which content items to download the media for. Let's say I want the audio files for just the first section of the first Preach My Gospel lesson. I'll navigate to the God is Our Loving Heavenly Father lesson page. Note how the Audio Media Items play button is light shaded out. This means that the media file is not present. An exception to this is if you've set up a Download on Demand option, in which case it will be solid green. It will be solid green if the media file is present. I'll click the Download Lesson Media button link at the bottom of the pane. The Download Lesson Media page comes up. I'll leave all the checkboxes in the Content Select pane checked, as well as all the languages. I'll leave unchecked the Include Media Files in Package, as I like to see the individual download progress. I'll check the Download Vocabulary Dictionary entries and audio checkbox to pre-download the stuff for the text study tool for this lesson. I click the Download button to begin the download. It will display the status of the downloading as it goes. It took about 116 seconds. When finished, it went back to the lesson page. We see that the Audio Content Item button is now green, meaning it's available to play. Looking at the text content item, we see the play button in green. And in the text study tool, we can click on words and get our definitions with audio in a timely fashion, at least after the first time the page is loaded and the vocabulary is collected. Conclusion. That's it for setting up both the website and the phone apps. If you haven't already done so, please see my other videos walking you through the features.